Hello legends! After finally beating the Lies of P DLC for the second time and getting my sweet revenge on some of those bosses that kicked my ass, I'm now legally obligated as a content creator to do a friggin' boss tier list. So the Lies of P DLC introduced us to 8 new bosses, and today we're going to see where they rank on the tier list from S all the way down to F. So if a boss makes it into the S tier rank, that means it's a godlike, well-designed boss fight. And if for some reason a boss makes it into F tier, well, that just means it's a shit boss that probably should have never been added into the game. Now remember, this is just my opinions. Don't let my opinions hurt your feelings, okay? It's not worth it. I'm just some random Aussie on the internet. Does my opinion matter though? Hell friggin' no. I just love doing these types of videos because it creates a fun discussion with the community on what bosses gave them the most shit and what bosses they thought were the coolest. So let's not waste any more time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's jump straight into this boss tier list to see which bosses will be crowned the best bosses of the Lies of P DLC. Well, we're off to a flying start here, ladies and gentlemen, because the tier list maker wants me to disable my ad blocker. What the fuck? Well, I'm hoping we don't get spammed by ads like a woman that's just changed her relationship status to single, but that's kind of a bummer. Alright, here come the ads. Watch the ads come fucking storming in. Yeah, there they are. There they are you kidding me? But either way, I'm pretty sure these DLC bosses here are listed in order that you do them, so that makes our life a hell of a lot easier. So first up, it's everybody's favorite crocodile, the Tyrannical Predator. Now the Tyrannical Predator, aka Big Crocodilian, he's a pretty cool boss just for the fact it's a crocodile. And that's it. That is literally it. The arena, in my opinion, is far too small for this boss, given that he just pushes you into the side of the arena and you can't fucking see shit. I was trying to perfect guard this boss. I quickly realized that is a very bad decision. As soon as you realize it's much easier to dodge his moves instead of perfect guarding them, the fight does get a little bit easier, but it is still just a constant uphill battle with that friggin' camera angle. The funny thing about the crocodile as well is it is literally the golden hippo from Shadow of the Erdtree. I mean, I'm not complaining, the crocodile is a cool fight. I do feel like the arena is just a little bit too small. If you had to just space that out a little bit more, push the boundaries out a little bit more, I felt like it probably would have been a more enjoyable fight. Besides all that, I do still feel like the fight is pretty enjoyable. It is cool that you get to fight a big crocodile. It just sucks that the camera angle is 50% of the boss fight. The arena not being big enough does kind of suck with this type of boss. So I think the Tyrannical Predator for me is going to be a B tier. The one thing I will say though, one positive about this fight, big pat on the back to round 8, is the crocodile's grab attack is very easy to read. So he puts his jaw like in the ground and then he goes down like another level with his jaw before he comes up and hits you with the grab. That little animation cue is perfect to let you know that it is now time to get the fuck out of the way of this attack. Otherwise, you're going to get grabbed. So credit where credit due. I think that grab attack is very well designed. It's very easy to see. It's very easy to read once you know what's going on. So that is one positive about the crocodile. But yeah, the rest of it is kind of cancerous. Again, if there was a few things different, it probably would sneak into A. But I think B tier is pretty solid for the crocodile. Now, next up, we have Markiona, Puppeteer of Death. Oh yeah, she was definitely bringing death my way for a solid hour and a half before I actually figured out what the friggin' hell was going on in this boss fight. Now, round 8 might have outdone themselves with this fight because I think Markiona might be one of the best, if not the best, duo gank boss fight in all of the Souls games and Soulsborne games. And you're probably thinking, damn Aussie, that's a pretty bold statement. How the hell did you come to that conclusion? Well, allow me to explain how I've come to that conclusion. So, in the fight against Markiona, you have her and a puppet. They can both attack you, but not at the same time. This is indicated by Markiona's puppet glove or puppet string that she has connected to a puppet. Whenever that is blue, Markiona's in charge and she's going to be throwing some damage your way. But when it's red, the puppet will be trying to attack you and dealing damage to you. So when you figure that out, it makes the fight a hell of a lot more manageable. It doesn't feel like you're constantly getting gangbanged in a corner or something. But the fight does feel fair because they are stagnating their attacks, and that is visually indicated by Markiona's puppet string. That is such a big brain idea. The moveset for Markiona is very unique. I think the developers were trying to hint at something when they gave her big blue ball attack and voice lines spouting about pleasure. But either way, it was refreshing seeing a boss do moves that aren't like every other boss's moves inside Eliza P. I did really appreciate Markiona's big blue balls. And for that reason and that reason alone, Markiona deserves to go on the S tier spot. Like I said, Round 8 Studios have outdone themselves with this boss fight. It's a very, very well designed duo boss fight that feels very fair. It's still very challenging. She's still an absolute piece of shit sometimes, but it's a fair fight because of the way it is designed. I will say there is that one combo where they do kind of gang up on you. The attacks are still staggered. They're not like both coming at you at the same time. That move really annoys me. It just fucks my camera up too bad while I'm trying to switch between the two. But besides that, the fight is really, really well designed. I feel like it's very fair. It's a good challenge, and it's just a good boss. It's just a great boss. Markiona does deserve to be in the S tier, I believe. Oh boy. Moving on over to Veronique. Arguably my biggest kryptonite in the whole entire DLC. This woman kicked my ass. Actually fucking kicked my ass. Going from Markiona into Veronique, I was like, bro, why am I just getting my ass beat by women? I don't know why. I know a lot of people said Veronique is pretty simple. I tried perfect guarding her moves and I had a very, very bad time. But this fight is very, very well designed. I love that the moves are very easy to read, especially with the exhaust on a hammer, giving you the audio and visual cue to let you know the attacks are coming in. But I think one thing that really just ties this fight together is the voice lines. The voice lines for me are so friggin' hype. I love when she starts like powering up her fury attack. She's like, I am indomitable. Bear the pain, Veronique.
I am indomitable. Bear the pain, Veronique. Never surrender.
It's so good. I don't know. It just gets the adrenaline pumping. It's like, damn, this bitch she's going in. She ain't going to stop till she beats me to a pulp, so I need to beat her to a pulp first. I suppose the only other big negative is we didn't get her weapon. Round 8, what are you doing? It's like Laxia all over again. You know we want the weapons that the bosses are using. I feel like that's a massive missed opportunity. I really do hope that they might add it in because it's such a cool looking weapon, but I don't remain optimistic, unfortunately. I really don't. But it would be cool if maybe they did add in Veronique's hammer into the game. But I think given the fight's very easy to read, it's still a very challenging fight. Like, I think for me personally, Veronique was one of the hardest fights in the game. The voice lines are epic, but I think Veronique, it's a good fight. It's a well-designed fight, but I do think it does fit into the A tier. I don't think it's S tier because the arena just needs to be a little bit bigger, and it's got some clutter. Like, why is there barrels in the corner? You've only put the barrels there for us to get stuck in and have a bad fucking time. That's the only reason those barrels are there. They don't need to be there. And for that reason, I think Veronique does deserve the A tier. Okay, it's Aussie here from the future. I had to redo my Two-Faced Overseer section because when I originally did this video, I kind of went on a rant about how I didn't like the boss, blah, blah, blah. Well, I've come to the realization that the reason I didn't like the boss was because of a skill issue, gentlemen. That's right, I'm not afraid to admit it. So I just went into boss rematch and practiced this boss for like an hour or two, and now I've completely changed my opinion on said boss. Later on in this video, I do change this to A tier, so if you are seeing into B tier, don't have a panic attack. It will be getting changed. But I now do think this is quite an enjoyable boss if you take the time to actually learn the moves instead of brute forcing your way through like I did. I don't know what it was about this boss, but when he entered his enrage mode, his new moves just melted my brain. They're the same as phase 1, but with different timings and different combo chains now, and I think that's why I was having such a bad time with this fight originally. But now that I have learned the fight, he is much more enjoyable, and I will happily reface him in boss rematch now. But holy crap, does this fight get a hell of a lot more enjoyable when you summon the tracker, aka Aladoro, the real Aladoro. Because he just comes through spamming his Fable arts. He has his two-dragon sword where he does the perfect parry. He's parrying the boss's moves. It's It's just friggin' epic. It is arguably more anime than anime, and the fight definitely is a hell of a lot more enjoyable when you have Alidoro there. So I might have just disliked this boss because I couldn't accept the fact that I was bad at this boss, but now that I have taken the time to practice this motherfucker, I have come around. I do believe the Two-Face Overseer is A tier, very, very strong A tier boss. I think if he had a couple of more unique-ish kind of moves, he would have maybe made it an S tier. But his moveset's pretty basic. It's nothing like special. There's nothing groundbreaking in there. He's just very relentless, and if you stuff up on tier 5 difficulty, he will happily punish you and send your ass straight to the friggin' Shadow Realm. But when you do learn this fight, you do understand what the hell is actually going on. It is pretty manageable, and it does become a hell of a lot more enjoyable. And that's why I have decided firmly now that the Two-Face Overseer does deserve his A tier position. Next up, we have the pre-metamorphic Green Hunter, aka Green Swamp Monster Jr. This is a bit of a secret fight. You have to go down on the elevator and you gotta jump off into the hole in the wall. I thought this was cool. It was very surprising, like going through that secret, just thinking it was going to be a secret, and you fall through the floor and boom, there's the Green Swamp Monster again, baby. I was really expecting him to have kind of the same moves as Green Swamp Monster, but he didn't. I thought that was very refreshing. I thought they could have just reused a lot of the same moves. He does still have some of the same moves, but they have switched up the timing to just keep you on your toes a little bit. And that double grab attack and the grab attack that heals himself is pretty punishing when you get hit by it. So you definitely start getting in your head that, okay, I cannot get hit by those grab attacks, otherwise it's basically game over. I mean, I really should just put this B tier because it is kind of like a repeat, literally a repeat of a boss we already have in the base game. This is a tough one because I've got the Two-Face Overseer in B, and I feel like it's the Green Hunter being an A is kind of weird. So I'm going to make some changes here. So I'm going to put the Two-Face Overseer in A. So apologize for everyone that just got mad in the comment section about me putting the Two-Face Overseer in B. It's now in A because it doesn't make sense for the Green Hunter to be in A because I don't think the Green Hunter is better than Two-Face Overseer. So the Green Hunter is going to go on B, and we're going to move the Two-Face Overseer to A. I hope that makes sense. The Green Hunter is a very cool fight. It was very surprising coming in contact with him in the DLC for the first time, but it is a repeat boss at the end of the day. His moves are kind of the same. Just the timing on them is a little bit different. That's why he has gone into the B tier. Next up on the list, we have Anguish Guardian of the Ruin. I really, really enjoyed this fight. I thought this fight was fucking epic. This was a really, really cool fight. Moves are pretty easy to learn. It's kind of like Archbishop. If you're very familiar with the Archbishop fight, you're probably not going to have too much of a bad time with the Anguish Warrior. The second phase cutscene was epic. It is so epic. It had me going like, oh shit. When the hands came down, like the armor gods came down and like blessed him, I was like, here we go. Here we friggin' go. He's been touched by the armor god. This second phase is going to be insane, which it was insane, but it is still very, very manageable. I felt like this fight was very fair. When you stuff up, you know that you've stuffed up and you learn from those mistakes and you improve. And when you do get very familiar with the fight, he has so many windows to be punished, it's not funny. So even though he has such a gigantic health pool, this is another boss that does have quite a bloated health pool, especially on New Game Plus 5 and New Game Plus 6. Even though he has such a bloated health pool, he has the weak spots that when you break, you get him staggered for free damage essentially. So the Anguish Guardian of the Ruins is S tier for me. I really enjoyed the fight. It felt fair. He has big punishable windows, and when you get him down for a fatal attack, holy crap, it is the most epic fatal attack animation I think I've witnessed in some time. So I think it would be very disrespectful if we didn't put the Anguish Guardian in an S tier. So next up, we have one of arguably the least favorite bosses in the entire DLC based on what I've just seen online, and that is Lumakio, leader of the bastards. Name checks out because, yeah, this guy is one big fucking bastard. The most annoying part for me with this fight is the fact that you learn phase 1, and then they throw phase 2 at you, and it's completely different. It's such a curveball, and apparently that was just too much for my little walnut to figure out because this guy really did set me back a couple of tries. So what do I actually think of the fight though, besides it kicking my ass and it being annoying? Let's take all the bias out of here. I think Blue Macchio is actually a really, really good fight. It feels so cool just going toe-to-toe with him, like two elegant gentlemen, because he's got his umbrella. I feel like you almost need to put an umbrella on too, just to really fit the elegance, you know? But I do love his moveset. It's so flowy and elegant, kind of like his style, kind of like how the character is designed. And that's what makes Phase 2 even cooler, is because he is all about elegancy, and he's got his umbrella, and he's very formal. When he goes into Phase 2 after he's drunk the elixir and he turns into a carcass enemy, he's not elegant anymore. He's rampaging around, he's throwing his arms viciously, spewing decay everywhere. It's such a switch up, but it's so cool from a lore perspective. And it's kind of just what he fucking deserves, mate. You keep backstabbing people, eventually you're gonna get backstabbed. Even if he was kicking my ass, it was fun just running back into the boss arena and going at it like the two elegant gentlemen we are. His second phase definitely threw me for a curveball, but I think Lamacchio, as annoying as he is, as frustrating as he is a very solid like A+ boss. He would have been S tier, but again, he falls into the same problem that like Veronique and the Crocodile does. His arena's too small. It's too small. We need a little bit of breathing space, please. I know they probably didn't have a lot of space to work with, but just a little bit more wouldn't hurt. You know, a small little nitpick, but that is the main reason why Lamacchio isn't an S tier, is because his boss arena, again, falls victim to just being a little bit too small. Nobody likes being up against a wall where you can't see anything. That is just frustrating. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we finally made it to the last boss on this tier list, the final boss of the DLC, Arlecchino, the Blood Artist. Now, all I have to say is wow. Wow. I just gotta, you gotta give credit where credit's due. What a fucking boss fight. Oh my god, this is arguably my favorite fight. My favorite fight out of the whole entire game. The Blood Artist fight is amazing. The voice lines are amazing. The cutscenes are dope. Oh, it's just such a well-designed fight. You can clearly tell that Round 8 blew all their load when designing this boss. It is just such a well-designed boss. Now, I know a lot of people had a lot of issues with this boss. He kind of felt like Nameless Puppet to me, where he's coming at you that quick. I don't know, when bosses come at me quicker, I seem to learn their moves easier. I feel like when bosses are coming out with delayed attack or like bait out shenanigans, I'm always having a harder time. But if they're just coming at me full throttle all the time, I don't know, my brain just clicks with that for some weird reason. So the Blood Artist for me is such an insanely cool fight, such an insanely fun fight. There's so much dopamine in the fight where he does like his big 20-30 hit combo at the start when you go into Phase 2. He drops the projectiles, slams down, does the spin, does the fucking slashes, and then comes through with a slash and then shoots blood up off the ground. It is so cool. It is so cool. Oh, it's such a good boss fight. I'm like literally jizzing over a fucking boss in a video game, but it's just so good. The feeling you get when doing this boss is just, it's better than every other boss in the game for me. But if you do the fight in the DLC with Leia, I highly recommend you have to at least do the fight the first time or one time with Leia, because the voice lines with Leia and Arlecchino are just amazing. Leia dropping all the fucking Fable arts and fatal blows and all crazy shit. It's just more anime than friggin' anime. It is just such a good fight alone, and it is also an even better fight, I feel, with Leia. The voice lines change. I feel like they're a lot more hype, and it's just such an experience. It's such a good experience. Not that this is related to the boss, but whoever the voice actor for Arlecchino is, bro, dude deserves some kind of voice acting Oscar, man. Captures this character so well. It's like the Riddler and the Joker had a baby and boom, Arlecchino was born. The guy does such a good job at just bringing this character alive. It's amazing. It honestly is. And for that reason, I don't think it's anybody's surprise I've like glazed this boss so fucking hard. It's higher than S tier. No, it is S tier. I think the Blood Artist fight is the best fight in the whole entire game. In fact, I will even go as far as say that I think Arlecchino might be in my top 5 boss fights of all time. Whoa, bold statement, I know, but he might just be. I love redoing this boss in boss rematch. I can't stress that enough. I always redo this boss fight. It's just so good. So there you have it. That is my boss tier list for the Liza P DLC. We have the S tier, the A tier, and the dreaded B tier. So let me know in the comment section below. Do you agree with this tier list? Would you change anything, or just straight up let me know where you would put all the bosses? I don't care. I'll read it. I'm always curious to hear your guys' thoughts. I think this video's gone on for way longer than it needs to be. Appreciate all the love and support as always, guys. The love on the videos recently has been amazing. I cannot thank you enough. But until next time, stay safe. Peace out.